Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm doing another makeup cataloging episode. This time I'm doing all of my lip pencils. I have exactly 24, so I'm able to make them all fit on one sheet of paper, which is awesome. Previously, I was using regular computer paper because that's all I thought that I had, but I recently found a sketchbook which has thicker paper in it and it has a perforated edge. It's more opaque than computer paper, it's thicker, I just feel like it's a little bit easier to work with. And what I've done is I've gone through and sort of eyeballed all of my lip pencils and broke them into categories, so I have them listed out just in a simple chart. I sorted them by pinks, mauves, I have one brown, hot pinks and purples, and then two of my reds. I have one bird in particular in the tree next to my room that has just been talking to me all morning, has a lot to say. Because I have exactly 24, I was able to fold my paper into enough sections to fit 24 exactly. I have 4 going one way and then 6 going long ways. And because I have a lot of room to work with, I am going to go in and actually label each of these. With my eyeshadows, I was working with much smaller real estate, so I just had them numbered. And then I have those names with the corresponding number in a spreadsheet. But I like this better because I feel like I can tell exactly what shade is what by having it all on one paper. So I'm gonna quickly go through and finish labeling the rest of the shades here, and then we can start some swatching. It's very rare for me to physically write a lot of stuff down anymore other than just like a quick grocery list or to-do list. And I could feel my muscles getting sore as I went, and my handwriting has gotten progressively worse as I went along. It's like my handwriting muscles have just atrophied. All right, and then I'm just gonna go in the order that I have written out. This one's relatively straightforward. We're starting with this one from LA Girl. This is the Perfect Precision Lip Liner. It's in the shade Pinky. Next up, we have this Lip Mate pencil from Romand in the shade Fig Breeze. This one's a lot creamier. Next up is this lip pencil from Wonder Skin. It's the 360 Contour Lip Liner in the shade Blush. We've got the classic Lip Cheat by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk. This is fun. It feels like I'm just coloring with really creamy color pencils. Next up is Jones Road, the lip pencil in the shade Nude Rose. This was a gift from my friend Sarah Rose. The last one on this row is NYX Peekaboo Neutral. This is the newer formula. I recently finished the old formula that I had. And if you'd like to see me comparing 3 of the original shades with 3 of the new ones from NYX, I do have a video. And then the last one that I have in this pink category is another lip pencil, this time in the shade Ever. We're now moving into mauve territory, but I imagine that they're all gonna kind of look the same. This is the LA Girl Shockwave Nude Lip Liner in the shade Mauve. I have 2 of the NYX Natural Lip Pencil shades. This first one is the older formula, and the next one is the newer formula. I've got the Persona Lip Liner in the shade Dusk. That one's super creamy. And then the last one in this row is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade Nude. The next 2 are both from About Face. They are the matte lip pencils. This first one is in the shade Little Little. And the next one is a slightly deeper version of the same shade, and it is Midnight Seduction. Ooh, these are so creamy. I have to be so careful. This next one is a dual-ended product from Ulta Beauty. It's the dual-ended lipstick and liner, and it says the name of the shade is Ace/As, and I don't know if that means like one side is Ace and the other side is As, or if that means it's like a translation of the same word. Not sure, I'm just gonna call it Ace. And the lip liner and lipstick are very similar, if not the exact same color. And I'm just going to swatch the lip liner shade, and I'll swatch the lipstick shade with my future lipstick catalog. Next up is the Vive Modern Lip Definer in the shade Brat. And then the next 2 are the old and new version of the same shade, and that is NYX Mauve. And then the last one in this mauve category is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Lip Crayon in the shade Natasha. And yes, I bought the lipstick, lip gloss, and lip liner all in the shade Natasha. I mean, they're beautiful colors anyway, but I also just like that they have my name. I'm seeing that a lot of these creamier ones, even if they're in sharpenable format, if they're really creamy, they're a lot more likely to fall out of the container. As I was pushing down to write on the paper, a lot of them would sink back into the packaging, meaning that they were a little loose to begin with. So that's an interesting observation. I assumed any sharpenable lip pencil is gonna stay in the tube better, but I guess if it's really that creamy, then it's gonna be on the move eventually. And then I only have one lip liner that I would consider a real brown, and that's the NYX Nude Truffle shade. This one's a lot creamier than the others. The next two are my more colorful shades. They're kind of to wear specifically with brighter lipsticks. The first one I have is NYX Fuchsia. This is a really beautiful, bright, hot fuchsia pink. And then the next one is LA Girl Magnificent. It's the same formula as that first pinky shade that I swatched, but it's bright purple. And what's interesting about this lip pencil is it almost has like a satin sheen to it, even though it is a matte formula. And then my last two are reds. They're both from NYX. This first one is a brighter red, and it's the shade Hot Red. And the last one is Cabaret, which is a deeper, more burgundy brown red. And this is the final result. Essentially, these middle two rows and then most of the top row and some of the bottom row are very, very similar with super, super slight differences. I'm still glad I have this catalog. I feel like it does just help me have a really great quick overview of the types of shades that I have. It shows me that I do not need to buy any more nude, mauve, pink lip liners because I really run the gamut here already. I'm glad to have a few more unique, fun shades. And I forget how pretty these colors are. Like, I definitely should reach for them more. So I'm glad I got another chance to really look at my lip liner collection, because with them being smaller and kind of put in a different spot in my lip drawer, these more unique shades do sort of get forgotten about. Still very useful, very satisfying that they all fit perfectly on one piece of paper. And you're really able to see which ones are more creamy formulas versus more dry formulas too. I've decided to do my lipsticks as well in this video. I figured why not? And so the gang's all here. I have all 44 of my lipsticks sorted by color family. I have my spreadsheet ready to go. And I've also pre-organized the actual catalog pages. Again, I'm using sketch paper because it's thicker and more opaque. And I have 22 lipsticks on each paper, and they kind of just fit that way within their color families. I'll start with the category that I've labeled bright, light, regular pinks. These tend to be the lightest shades of all my lipsticks, and they all kind of skew more pink than anything else. The other categories I have are mauve, browns and purples, and reds at the end. I don't know if this J-Cat Dew Glow Lip Hydrator in the shade Dew Hydrate is necessarily my lightest lipstick, but it's very light, it's pink, and it's also probably the most sheer. So that's why it's going first. It's a really pretty color. I have grown to really like this. I always had good impressions of it, but I think I like it even more as I wear it. And you can see I've gone through quite a bit of it. Next up is the About Face Cherry Pick Lip Color Butter in the shade Pink Pina. This is one that you have to click up. Okay, this one's gonna be kind of hard. I'm gonna put some on my finger. Just another clicky style lipstick is this one from Nature Republic. It's the Honey Melting Lip in the shade 02 Fig. Next up is a Bisou Balm from Violette FR, and it's in the shade Guimauve. I love that color, it's so beautiful. Next up is a Make Beauty lipstick, and it's in the shade Equilibrium. I wonder, should I rub them all in? Oh, okay, this one from Violette FR. Because of the formula, when you rub it in like that on the paper, it bunches up. So I'm gonna press. Next up is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. I have quite a few Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I really like their kissing formula. And so this is in the shade Candy Chic. Then I have this, it's maybe more of a tinted lip balm, but it's a dewy lip gloss balm from Bare Minerals in the shade Soul. I messed up. I should have put Besame Portrait Pink there and not Bare Minerals Soul. I'm just gonna change the labels. So that's Bare Minerals Soul now, and then this will be Besame Portrait Pink. Next up is another Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This is in the shade Pillow Talk Fair. And for the vast majority, if not all of these, I do have a separate litmus feature, a short about all of them. So if you see one and you're like, oh, I'd like to learn more about the scent, the pigmentation, what it looks like on someone's lips, like swatches and stuff. If you want more in-depth information about any of these, I likely already have a short just solely focused on that product. Now back to Besame Portrait Pink. I didn't buy this myself. It was a gift with purchase, I think, or like part of a larger gift bag of goodies. And then the last one in this category is a Lisa Eldridge. I think it's in their satin formula or whatever their version is called, and it's in the shade Rose Official. And I like the Charlotte Tilbury satin formula more than the Lisa Eldridge one. The Charlotte Tilbury one feels more creamy and moisturizing. The Lisa Eldridge ones just feel thinner to me. So that's the first category of lipsticks. The second category is mauves, and I really gravitate towards more of like a rosy mauve color versus just a true traditional mauve. First one, and probably the least pigmented one out of all these, is this Milani Keep It Full Glossy Plumping Balm in the shade Moi. I really like the lip glosses that are from this line. This next one's gonna be really hard to swatch, I think, because it's so melty. It's from Makeup by Mario, and it's their Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Blush Glow. I think I'm just gonna put it on my finger and swatch it that way. This next one was featured in my lip pencil portion of this video too. It's from Ulta Beauty, and it's a dual-ended lipstick and liner in the shade Ace/As. And I swatched the pencil portion on my lip pencil catalog, and so this time I'm gonna do the same with the lipstick, which is also maybe more of like a pencil, but I consider it a lipstick. Another clicky lip pen. I had a real moment with clicky lip pens last year and the year before. This is Crush Hard from Kaja. It's cute that the applicator's in a little heart shape. I have another Lisa Eldridge lipstick here. This is from their, I don't remember what it's called exactly, but it's like their specialty recyclable packaging lipsticks. I have the shade Romy. Then another tinted lip balm here. This is from Ravi Beauty in the shade Dahlia. This is a Victoria Beckham lipstick. This is in the shade Spark. A Charlotte Tilbury lipstick from their Look of Love collection, I believe. It's in like this specialty packaging. And this is in the shade Wedding Bells. And this is a matte Revolution shade. This is a Lasting Melting Balm from the brand Romand. And this is the shade Veiled Rose. Next up is this Fenty Beauty High Shine Gloss Stick in the shade Is It Fussy? I think at the time I wanted to get the shade Glazed Donut maybe, or Blazed Donut, and it wasn't available, so I got this instead. Next up is a mini Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade 90s Pink. And lastly, I have an IT Cosmetics Pillow Lips Solid Serum in the shade Like a Dream. Also another clicky pen formula. Okay, the next category is my browns and purple section. Looking back, I think I started with maybe peachier, lighter brown shades. And then the next one is pinks that have a lot more purple in them. And then I moved into cool tone browns and then ended with my one true purple. All right, I'll start with this lipstick from Natasha Denona. This is in the shade Natasha. Then another mini lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Icon Baby. I mentioned in my litmus feature of this that this does have some amount of sparkle to it, which I wasn't expecting when I purchased it. I don't think I've ever come across a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick that does that. Another Look of Love collection lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury, this time in the shade Nude Romance, and this is their Satin Kissing formula. And the last shade from this collection, this color story, is Too Faced Empower Cream Lipstick in the shade Milkshake. Now on to the pinky purples. I'll start with this Buxom lipstick in the shade Pink Crush. I think this is inspired by their iconic Dolly shade, but just in lipstick form. Next up is another Lasting Melting Balm from Romand in the shade Mauve Whip. Another Violette FR Bisou Balm in the shade Betise. And we're gonna learn from Guimauve and press this in instead of just rubbing. I almost put this shade in the red category, but after further inspection, I do think it really belongs in this category. Next up is Vive Deep Love. It's called the Satin Slip Lipstick. This next one is from Girl Cult, and it's in the shade M59. It's one of those like whipped sort of liquid lipsticks, kind of like the soft matte creams from NYX. Next up is this Ulta Radiant Shine lipstick in the shade Fabulous. Next up is one of the Nabla Beyond Blurry Sheer lipsticks, and this is in the shade Dia. This one I'm in the process of finishing. I really only have a little bit left. This is from e.l.f. and it's one of their sheer slick lipsticks in the shade Black Cherry. It's been touted as a dupe for Black Honey from Clinique. Now I'm moving into the more cool toned colors. This is a liquid lipstick from Stila in the shade Bachi. The scent of these is so nostalgic to me. I've gone through several Stila liquid lipsticks over the years. Next up is this clicky lip pen from Judy Doll, and it's in the shade Cocoa Sauce. The product is starting to get really gloopy around the applicator, and I don't really even wear it that much. So it's not like wear and tear. I think it's just because the product is so creamy. But yeah, it's like sticky all the way around this metal part of the applicator. Another Nabla Beyond Blurry lipstick, this time in the shade Celeste. This is a very unique lipstick formula. I've gone into more detail during their Litmus feature this past December. And then the next two are the Nabla Beyond Jelly sheer lipsticks. So these are more satin. And I have the shades Luz and Ardor, which is a little deeper. And then my last true purpley lipstick that I would put in this category is another Besame lipstick, this time in the shade Wild Orchid. Very unique color in my lipstick collection, and this one absolutely leaves a stain. And the last four lipsticks I'll be swatching are all reds. I'll start with Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Vixen. This is another mini. There was a trio of mini shades that were on sale last year that I picked up. And I wish more brands would do mini lipsticks, and I wish Charlotte Tilbury would offer minis of more of their shades. Next up is Elisa Eldridge Velvet Cinnabar. This is from their more matte lip line. Next, I have an E-Balm from Persona, and it's in the shade Manifest, and this is like a tinted lip balm, a true cherry red. And lastly, I have another Make Beauty lipstick, this time in the shade Red Emission. I so rarely wear these bright red lipsticks, these colors, and so having four in slightly different undertones and formulas is like more than enough, more than I'll ever need. Okay, so this is my lipstick collection. And then for reference, this is my lip liner collection. I'm so happy to have these all swatched out. I mean, they look beautiful. And I've already been finding a lot of value in having this sort of catalog. Recently, I recreated one of the recent Glaminatrix eyeshadow palette releases. It was a re-release of an old classic eyeshadow palette that they had. And at first, I really wanted it because I regretted missing out on the original palette release. But then I did a video where I went through my eyeshadow catalog and I swatched out and recreated my own version of the palette, and I found that I did have the shades that I would want from that palette. Maybe the formulas are a little different, but it was enough of a similarity that I realized I didn't want that palette as much as I initially did. I know a lot of people are trying to cut back on their makeup spending, trying to bring in less. A lot of people are doing project pans, low buys, no buys, and I would highly recommend an exercise like this if that is what you're trying to do. I think this is my last category video of my series. I have done this with my blushes and my eyeshadows, and I don't really think there's anything else in my collection that would warrant that sort of comparison. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas of ways that I could use this catalog for other video ideas, I'm always open to suggestions. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.